Hello everybody, so welcome to part 2 of my CD collection. So in this video I'm going to be showing the C's and the D's. So last time I showed the A's and B's. Before I start, there's one CD in my collection from that starts with the letter B, which I actually forgot to show, and that is Best of Blur. So yeah, I actually forgot to show that one in the A and B video, so sorry about that. But yeah, I do like a bit of Blur. Probably the only Britpop band that I like, really. So yeah, that's out of the way. So now we'll show so we'll go on to the C's now. So I've got a couple by Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is their debut album. And the case is Creedence Clearwater Revival. The disc, on the other hand, is not. The disc is actually the Essential Michael Jackson. Actually, both of them in there, disc 1 and 2. And yeah, I don't have a case for Michael Jackson with the CCR disc inside, so you know. So that's why I got this one for free. But I will get a replacement copy of this at some point. But I'll keep this because I do like Michael Jackson. You know, I do like a bit of Jackson. But yeah, and I've got this one's Bad Moon Rising, the best of Creedence Clearwater Revival. So yeah, there's loads of great songs on here. This is fantastic. And then I have the best of Chuck Berry. Yep, I do love a bit of Chuck. Fantastic song selection on here, and it includes My Ding-a-Ling, which I love that song. Really, it's great fun. And then I've got some Cream. I do love Cream. I've got Fresh Cream. So yeah, I have all their studio albums. Disraeli Gears, probably my favourite Cream album. Another one of my favourites, Wheels of Fire. The live disc is really good as well. A lot of people love the studio stuff, but not the live disc. I love the live disc, really. And then we've got Goodbye, the last studio album. But it's only half a studio album. Because it has some live tracks on it as well. And I also have the very best of Cream. This is what I got this when I was getting into Cream. So but yeah, it's got Wrapping Paper and Anyone for Tennis, which are actually not on any of these albums. So yeah, it's worth keeping just for those two songs. They were released as singles, but they weren't on the albums. And then I've got the very best of Canned Heat. I do love a bit of Canned Heat. And the very best of Cat Stevens. I love this. This is fantastic. Comes with a DVD as well that has some of his live performances on it, and it has a promo on it, a music video for Moonshadow. It's a great song. They're all great songs on here. I do love a bit of Cat Stevens. But he's called Yusuf Islam now. That's the name that he goes by now. But yeah, he's a fantastic musician. And I've got one album by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. This is American Dream. Not the best Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young album, in my opinion. It's one of their 80s albums, 1980... Does it actually say? I don't think it actually says. Oh, 1988. Yeah, it's a good album. It's all right, but there are other Crosby, Stills and Nash albums that I would rather own. Deja Vu is one of them. That's a classic album, and the debut album, which is just Crosby, Stills and Nash without Neil Young. But yeah, I do like it. I got this one cheap. I got this from a charity shop. I got this for just 25p. So, but yeah, there are other Crosby, Stills and Nash & Young albums that I would rather have. So that wraps up the C's, and now we'll get on to the D's. So I do have I do have some Deep Purple, so we've got Shades of Deep Purple. Brilliant debut album. So I've got all the albums from the Mark 1 lineup of the band. I've got Book of Taliesin, and then self-titled, third album. My favourite, Deep Purple in Rock, absolute masterpiece. And then Into the Fire, this is a live bootleg. Sounds great though. And then Machine Head. That's the slipcase, but yeah, that's what the album cover actually looks like. And yeah, Machine Head's just a classic. It's the one that has Smoke on the Water on it. I've got Fireball, which Fireball was actually before Machine Head, so I probably should have showed Fireball first. But yeah, this is a great album. I think this is an underrated one because this is the one that came after In Rock, but before Machine Head. So it's the one between those two classics. So this is kind of I kind of consider this a trilogy because all three of these albums are excellent. But this is probably the underrated one of the three. And yeah, the cover looks like that. And then I've got a couple of compilations. This one's called Under the Gun. So this does have, it's got a lot of their later hits. So it's got some stuff from the Perfect Strangers album. I think there's some stuff on here from House of Blue Light as well. And there's some live tracks. And then this one's called Icon. This is another compilation. Yeah, there's a lot of these. You know, a lot of bands had this, the Icon compilation, but this, it's pretty much similar to Under the Gun. You know, it's pretty similar. It's got some of the Perfect Strangers tracks on it and some live stuff. But yeah, it's all right. And then I have Dave Clark, the Dave Clark 5, Glad All Over Again, 35 solid gold hits. I do love the Dave Clark 5 quite a lot. So yeah, just brilliant songs on here. So many great ones. And then this is the soundtrack to Dracula, the Hammer version with Christopher Lee. And it's a twofer. It also comes with Curse of Frankenstein, which is the Hammer film with Peter Cushing as Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, I got this from a convention. Yeah, I do love Hammer horror, especially Dracula. And then I have a load of a lot of David Bowie. So I've got the debut album, deluxe edition with a bonus disc of B-sides and single versions. And then this one's the Space Oddity. This is basically a compilation of his early singles from the 60s. And it also includes the original demo of Space Oddity. And we got his self-titled second album, which is also known as Space Oddity, because it includes the song Space Oddity on here. And we've got Man Who Sold the World, great album. Hunky Dory, fantastic. Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spies from Mars. Classic album. Brilliant. And then possibly my favourite David Bowie album, Aladdin Sane. And then Diamond Dogs. This is a great album. Quite underrated, I feel. There's great stuff on here. And then we've got a live album, David Live. It's a double live album. This was recorded at the Tower of Philadelphia. It's really good. I'm not really huge on live albums, but you know, there are some great ones. Station to Station, possibly another one of my favourites. Heroes. And then I do have some more Bowie. So we've got Lodger, quite underrated. And this is another underrated one, and this is one that a lot of Bowie fans and also the critics don't really like. This one's Never Let Me Down. I quite like this one. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but it's enjoyable. You know, there's some good track. Day In Day Out is a terrific song. And we've got the singles collection, so 2-disc compilation. And yeah, this does have a few singles that were not on the albums. I think John I'm Only Dancing was not on an album. Neither was Dancing in the Street, which is his collaboration with Mick Jagger. So yeah, a good set there. And then this is what I consider to be his weakest album, Black Tie, White Noise. I never got on with this album. It's got some great moments, you know. It's got Jump They Say, which is a great track. The Wedding Song is pretty good as well. The rest of it, I just find it to be kind of mediocre. Yeah, I've tried many times with this one, but I just never really could get into it. There's certain tracks on here I like, but I do think it's his weakest album. And then I've got Buddha of Suburbia. I like this one just a little bit better than Black Tie, White Noise. And then Nothing Has Changed. This is another compilation. And it does have yeah, it's got it's got a couple of new songs on it, which were new to this release. And I do have Black Star, which was his last album that he released before he sadly passed away. Yeah, this is great. This is a masterpiece. It's really sad though. It's a really sad album to listen to, but it's just lovely. It's wonderful. And the last one I have, this is Toy, which was basically, it was a posthumous album. This was released just last year. So it was recorded, this album was recorded in 2001. So yeah, it was recorded in 2001, but he never officially released it during his lifetime. Because yeah, I think after he'd finished recording it, he abandoned it, and then yeah, the album was basically shelved for 20 years. And then he went on to make the Heathen album after this. So this album was basically shelved for 20 years, but there were some like bootlegs of it on the internet, like, but it got officially released last year. So yeah, it's really good actually. It's not as good as Black Star. So yeah, it comes with the album. And it also comes with 2 other discs. That's the outtakes and demos on there, and then it comes with a live album, Unplugged, which I've not really listened to the bonus discs. I've only listened to the album. But yeah, I enjoyed this. And then to finish off the Ds, I've got a few albums by The Doors. So I have Morrison Hotel. Great album, this. And then LA Woman. And then Very Best of The Doors. And yeah, I do want to get some more, but I actually do want to get all their albums, but yeah, I do love The Doors. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And the next video I'll be showing the E's and the F's. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.